Hello, you incredible friends. This is your pal, Edwards here speaking. Welcome to another interview with Edward of an exceptional business leader. And we have got a very old friend of mine from a long time ago who's joining us on our show today. Her name will come out shortly, and she specialises in leadership and transformation, works with top Australian banks, leading Australian senior women and businesswomen. She has two beautiful children. She's from Pakistan originally, a proud Australian citizen. Friends, can you all please put yourself a warm round of applause together for the awesome Sobia Zafar. How are you today, Sobia?
Thank you so much for this lively introduction. Doing really well. So happy to be speaking to you on a bright, beautiful day.
It's an honor, Sobia. Now, Sobia, can I ask you very quickly, what do you do exactly and how do you add value to people's lives?
So, as you rightly mentioned, I specialize in leadership and transformation. So my corporate experience is in change management, working with the United Nations, now the financial industry in Australia. A few years ago, I got into coaching, and that has become the best part of my life. Let's just put it this way. Working with some really brilliant senior women at the C-level, including members of the parliament. So in the end, I realized that my role to change the world was by improving the lives of people who are already in a position to change the world. So instead of doing it myself, I'm empowering the people who are already in that position to make the difference, to make those decisions. They have the right resources. So if they are in the right mindset, if they know how to be high performers, you're just accelerating the existing effort instead of reinventing the wheel.
Oh, that's incredibly noble. And I think you've just explained so much there. And Sobia, what I'd love to talk to you about in this interview is we're going to do a bit of dream interpretation, do a funny dream that I had about baked beans a little bit later on. But the first thing I want to ask you about is I'd love to ask you, what do you think of what's happening in the world with the corona crisis? And what's your advice to people to not only survive, but thrive in these times?
So the tagline of our brand is, let life coach you. And I think it stands very true in times like this, because all the vision boards and things that we had are kind of no longer valid, right? Because there's just nothing that you can do about it. The law of attraction, what happened to it? So what I feel, I think just going back a little bit, in the coaching industry, I'm sorry I'm saying it outright, but I think it needs to be said. The way the industry has started operating is becoming very narcissistic.
Just so you know, I couldn't agree with you more, Sobia. And I'll tell you what, as a coach myself, I couldn't agree with you more. And I guarantee you a lot of people watching would agree with you. So please keep going down this awesome rabbit hole.
So a narcissist, what they would do is that they would get to know you really well, get to know what your dreams are, and find out exactly what you're afraid of. Then they will make your fears so much bigger than yourself. And then they will say that if you don't keep me in your life as a savior, you will not survive. Right? So that's what the coaching industry has started doing, telling people your life is crap. What are you doing? Why are you having an ordinary life? Everybody needs to be extraordinary. So in chase of extraordinary, they stop forgetting to live the ordinary, beautiful days. They start living for that one day, right? And all of us as human beings will always have experiences of being, right? We will always have problems of being a human. And that is our normal. It cannot be otherwise. You cannot wake up one day where life will just be perfect. It's never going to happen. So when you take people to a land where life will be perfect, and you bring them back and say, you have to do this, pay me all this money, and I'm going to take you there. Right? It's just not real. So when you're selling false dreams, especially to people whose life in that moment might be crappy or might not be ideal, you're actually doing a big disservice to humanity. Number one. Number two, in a crisis like this, so coaches like that have no longer anything to offer because they can't sell all these promises.
And just on that, that's why I was talking to one of my wonderful friends. A lot of these coaches that were around, they've all disappeared, haven't they? In fact, I would say a lot of coaches have just left the market. You don't hear from them anymore.
So there is another thing. One of my coaches that I initially worked with, Rich Litvin, what he used to say is that you cannot take anybody deeper than you've gone yourself. Okay. So if you were playing the game on the surface, you can't last long. Right? If you're not willing to go through the life experiences yourself, because to be I'm nobody to say who's a good coach or not, right? I don't make that judgment.
I disagree. I think you're an exceptional coach and you're very entitled to say that. So please say that.
Yeah, but it's the kind of a profession where it's not the degrees that define you. Right? And everybody can be a great coach, but might not be the right coach for a specific person. Because the life experiences and the spiritual journey must align between the prospect and the coach. So there's no good or bad coach. Is that the right person to be the facilitator in life for you? That is the question.
I think you framed it absolutely beautifully, and we can see exactly how that's absolutely cleaned up the industry. And I was going to say, what's your advice for people personally right now to really make the most out of the time of Corona?
We may never get to slow down so much again, maybe never again in our life. So really enjoy slowing down. And first of all, we've all learned that no matter what happens, even if we go into debts, even if we go into bad health, God forbid, we will still be fine, right? So if you'll still be fine, why worry? So one day at a time, because we don't really have any other choice. So why not just enjoy taking one day at a time?
Oh, grounded and beautifully well said. Now, what I want to go into, Sobia, is I want to talk to you about the dream that I had that precipitated this. So to give some context to the audience, where this interview came from was I had a very, very strange dream about a week ago, which I'll talk about in a second. And I posted that on LinkedIn and Facebook. And Sobia reached out to me and said, Ed, I can help you interpret that dream. And my response was, Sobia, why don't I do an interview with you and let's do it on camera so thousands of people will watch you in work on my dream interpretation. So are we ready to go, Sobia? Did you want to lead the questioning here to help me interpret my dream?
So just for context, normally I don't work with tools and techniques, right? Because my way of coaching is just to have a conversation to help you see things differently. But here we are going to be using a tool which I learned from one of my early coaches, Ben Harvey, who leads Authentic Education, just to give due credit. And this technique is called Guru Technique. And it's quite fun, right? But just a bit of a warning. And first of all, thank you for being a very vulnerable and courageous leader to just openly talk about what you might be feeling. And we have no clue. We're just playing along, right? We just don't know what might show up. So thank you for your courage and vulnerability, first of all.
Pleasure.
Okay. So what I'm doing, so while we are doing this, probably people can learn this technique and take it away. So what I'm doing is I've drawn 3 columns on this page. Not sure if you can see it, but I've got 3 columns. In column number 1, Ed, just tell me 3 objects that you remember from your dream. They don't have to mean anything. Just think about it. 3 objects that just stand out.
Yeah. My house, my cat, and baked beans.
Baked beans is the emphasis.
Yeah. So, yes, in other words, I woke up in my house and there were baked beans everywhere. And I was like, what the hell? Just literally everywhere. Just baked beans everywhere, all over my house. And my cat was covered in baked beans going meow.
Okay. So, well, the dream doesn't matter. It's just these 3 words for now. Okay. No, so now in terms of, so do you think this dream was more towards, it feels like it's something around in your personal life, professional life? Do you get any feeling?
It kind of felt a bit personal, actually. It wasn't really, LinkedIn business influencer or teachable related. It felt personal, very, very personal to me. Very personal.
Well, that's really good. You're going in the right direction.
Okay, cool. Yes, I gave the right answer. It felt very personal. It wasn't businessy. It was more Edward's ear deep down thing.
All right. So Edward Zia, deep down, you, as the great, beautiful person that you are, what does house represent? The word. What does it mean to you?
Oh, probably like family, location. Probably I see house more as family structure, not so much a physical location.
I know, but what does it represent in your personal world?
Oh, okay. I think it represents wife, children, and where we physically live, and our close friends and family.
What else? Like the kind of feeling it gives you, like makes represents safety, belonging.
Yeah, probably exactly that. Safety, belonging, a place to identify with and anchor yourself.
Okay, so an anchor in your life.
Yeah, I'll say that. I'll say that. Anchor, it's the anchor of my life. I'll give that as an answer.
All right.
Yeah.
What about the cat?
The cat, well, I love my, truth be, I come from a Persian background, and I don't know if it's the same in Pakistan, but Persians are usually cat people. Cats are a big part of our culture. I don't know if you guys are into cats as much as
Persian
we
cats are so famous.
are. Sorry?
Persian cats are supposed to be like the most beautiful cats in the home,
Yeah, the most spoiled and annoying. I've had Persian cats before; they're great. But no, but so I'm a real cat guy. So, and I love my cat, right? I've always loved cats. So to me, I suppose my cat represents my love and desires, so to speak. It's like what I really crave deep down and want to do with my life.
Desire, craving. I need two more words. So I'm getting 5 words for each.
Okay, go. More desires, craving, what I love. So desire, craving, love. What I enjoy. There you go. What I enjoy. And I'll say the word, I know this is 2 words, but bucket list. Sort of I don't mean goals in terms of a number, more like the bucket list of what I want to achieve in my life. Sort of like high level cool stuff.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Now the interesting part, the baked beans.
Yeah. Baked beans, okay, yeah.
Now let's see what do baked beans represent in your personal life.
Well, I'm not a baked beans. I don't have a fetish for baked beans or anything.
Baked beans. Just go back to the dream when you saw it. What kind of it, like what feelings it hit?
It was like hunger because I suppose I saw the baked beans as a form of nourishment. So I kind of when I feel when I feel really, really hungry, I enjoy baked beans as the ultimate stomach filler, if that makes sense. Right?
Um, okay. So I've got 2 words: hunger, nourishment.
Yes, oh, okay, I know what you mean. So 5 words. So hunger, nourishment, and comfort. It's a very comfortable food to eat. And it's sort of like stability because there's always baked beans, right? It's very hard to run out of baked beans. If you do, you buy a case of them from Costco. It's hard to run out of baked beans. I suppose the 5th word is they're like they're tasty. It's a very pleasurable sort of meal. Like I'll say pleasurable.
Okay. So what we did do in the first column, we had the 3 words.
Yeah.
In the second column, we had 5 words for each word.
Yeah.
That these, like, the initial words represent. Now we're getting to the interesting part.
Uh-oh. Oh, no.
Which is the third column, right? Okay. So in your because we're talking about, so if any place if you think that we are going too deeper or we are getting too personal, you can just stop me.
No, go. I want deep and personal. This video is only going to be seen 10,000 times. That's okay. It's all good.
All right. Sounds good.
Deep and personal. Let's do it. No holding back.
Okay. So for each word, like the 15 words that we have here, I'm going to ask you, what does that mean in a deeper personal context for you?
Gotcha. Okay.
What does family mean?
Family is wife, children, closest friends.
Not the definition. What does it mean to you?
Oh, me too. Probably stability.
Stability. Okay.
Acceptance. I'll say acceptance.
Location.
Location is stability.
So when I say what does it mean to you, it means like how does it fulfill you?
Oh, gotcha. Fulfilling. I think the house, it fulfills me because it makes you feel comfortable and secure.
Yeah, I don't know what's the right way to explain it, but what does it mean deep down, like at the deepest level in your heart? When I say this word, what bell does it ring? So wife?
Makes me feel like I'm part of something. So accepted.
Okay. Wife?
Oh, love and acceptance.
Safety,
Survival.
anchor,
Anchor is it's a frame of reference. It gives you something to base your identity from.
identity. Can we just say that?
Yeah, identity. Yep, identity. Couldn't go that.
Love,
Love. So I'll say pleasure.
desire,
Desire would be not fulfillment. I'm trying to think of a better word than fulfillment. Self-actualization. I'll give you a Maslow's one.
actualization, craving.
Craving is nourishment. So like nourishment.
So I'm writing all these words in the last column.
Cool.
Joy,
Say again.
enjoy, enjoyment.
Enjoyment would be fulfillment.
So would there be a difference if I just asked you what does enjoy mean as a verb? Like,
Yeah, to me, enjoy is doing what I really want to do. So,
is it desire?
meeting my needs. I'm trying to say it more intelligently. Sort of like doing what I want. Freedom. There you go. Freedom. Give you that word.
Okay, very interesting direction we're going in. Bucket list.
Yeah. Oh, freedom. Freedom. Sort of like. Oh, and also, I know I'm gonna sound narcissistic. I know we just gave a narcissist a complete bashing here, but the positive side of narcissism is sort of like, look at me, guys, I've made it. It's that positive side of narcissism. So a bit of ego, in all honesty.
That's a beautiful ego. So have it by all means, please.
Yeah, so we'll go the beautiful ego. So a bit of ego there on that one.
So the bucket list.
Yeah, part of the bucket list is it's for me, but it's to say, look, I got it. Look, everyone, it's more me demonstrating to the world that I made it.
So it's you shining proudly.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, that's such a positive way of saying sort of the good part of a narcissist. Yes, me shining, as in me demonstrating to the world that I've not made it, but I'm making it and made it.
But see, just not as a friend, but just knowing you over all these years and how you show up and how generously you serve and all those things, right? So the brighter you shine, the more light you light up.
Oh, good point. Very good reframe. I like it, Sobia.
So you need to shine as brighter as you could all the time.
That's why you're a high-end coach, Sobia. That's why you're a high-end coach.
Yeah, let's keep buttering each other. Okay, hunger.
Hunger. More survival.
Survival. Nourishment.
Is like fulfillment, pleasure.
Pleasure. Or fulfillment.
Pleasure is
So nourishment is fulfillment or pleasure?
yes. Oh, nourishment is more pleasure.
Okay, comfort.
More pleasure.
No, you can't repeat.
I gotcha. So comfort would be to me, what does it mean to me? Comfort means to me, that would be survival.
We have used that.
Survival. So comfort, that's a good one. So comfort to me would be comfort. Why do I want to be comfortable? Comfort would be longevity. There you go.
Stability.
Stability would be so stability. Why do I want to be stable? I want to be stable to.
Or what does it simply mean? Like any word that comes to your mind, don't overthink it.
Stable's a good one. So stable's always is. I'll say stable will be consistent.
Consistent.
Yeah, consistent.
I think it means something else.
Okay, so stable means something else. So stable means
I don't know. Looking
healthy.
at you.
To me, it means healthy. Being stable means healthy because if you don't have a stable life, it won't be a healthy one.
Okay, and pleasure.
Pleasure also means healthy to me. Pleasure also means, I suppose, the finest in life. It's fulfilling, very fulfilling.
Okay. All right. So before I start, Just
Hmm.
wanted to say that I know we joked around buttering, but I totally believe in what you do. And I think the brighter you shine, the more light you're going to light.
Thank you, Sobia.
Okay. So are you ready to hear what it means?
Yeah, let's do it, Sobia. Let's get it out on the table, huh?
So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to reinvent anything. So I've got these words in the right column.
Yep.
I'm going to read them out in a sentence.
Cool.
So it's what I've heard from you that I'm feeding back to you. It's not something that I am saying.
Yep. So it's a
And
reflection.
this, yeah, and just the psychology behind is that our subconscious mind is sometimes making us see things when we are sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
When we don't have the time to listen to the subconscious mind during the noise and the busyness of the day.
Gotcha.
So the dreams that you tend to remember, not always, but kind of, that's like the general conception that's why you remember, because your subconscious is trying to tell you something. Something is on your mind, right? So when we do this exercise, we're just like, drilling down to what was on your mind. Let's hear the message.
Now, friends, as you watch this interview, Sobia is an amazing lady. You can find her on LinkedIn. Known Sobia for years. She's obviously a very, very smart lady. And it's weird, I'm usually the one coaching people, and it's good to be coached, especially on camera. First, I want to say Sobia's doing a great job, and she's absolutely kicking. But what makes this interview kind of funnier is Sobia is with one of her friends right now, who's off camera. And sometimes I can hear her giggling, because I am saying some funny stuff, which I totally respect.
I think I've given up on writing. I'm just going to read it out.
Yeah, do it. That's cool. Go for it, Sobia.
The acceptance and stability of my love is in the survival of my identity.
That sounds about me.
The acceptance and stability of the love is the survival of my identity.
Ah.
Measure with which I move towards self-actualization is the nourishment to my freedom journey.
I like it.
Me shining, me surviving, me finding pleasure is the longevity that's going to give me the health and fulfillment that I desire.
Sounds like me. I like it. Sounds completely like me. So the dream I had was what, these feelings coming to the surface?
Seems like it.
Yeah, I think so.
You have the recording. I would say that, later, just kind of put it on repeat a couple of times.
Can you read it all out again for our audience? Read it out again.
I haven't written it down.
Oh, what you just said. Can you say what you said before again? It doesn't have to be perfect. Just say it again, even off the top of your head, because I liked it.
The acceptance and stability of the love that I have to survive my identity. Right? So let me translate it.
Yeah, please.
It means that you like your identity.
I do.
Identity is your survival.
Yes.
There's no compromise on it.
No.
Sometimes, probably, there's some guilt around it.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
It says that that's who you are. That's what you must take pride in. So acceptance and stability, because that's what it brings you. It is that anchor or the foundation on which stands the stability, family, love, desire, all those things for you.
So you're saying in my psychology, my identity is very, very strong and powerful to me.
I'm not saying that. And
I agree with that. If you are saying that, I agree with it, because that's certainly very true.
But that's what your dream seems to be saying. Or giving you the message.
Gotcha.
Right? So probably, if you know it is, maybe you were not owning it. That could be the thing. So when the message is coming, so it has a purpose. The purpose could be to give you more clarity, to give you acceptance, to give you ownership of what it is, and so that you can just own it and shine with it, kind of thing.
To be honest with you, I think you're a smart lady and you hit the nail on the head, because I remember a few days before, I'm okay now, by the way, But at the time, I was questioning my identity online. I remember, I'm fine now, but that night I was very unsettled with my online identity and what I was putting out there. And I hear you saying that dream kind of was I suppose, the manifestation and the insecurity of my own identity.
Yeah, but that's what makes you shine. So own it with all your heart and all your might and all your brilliance.
So the point of that dream is to encourage me to shine and own my identity with all my brilliance. I like that, Sobia. That's very, very good.
So that was the first part. Second part. So I'm sorry if I might say it differently, but it would mean the same thing.
That's cool. It's cool, please.
So the pleasure that I take in my self-actualization nourishes my freedom.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely agree. Yep.
How I shine.
Yes.
So the part one is your identity.
Yep.
Part two is about the message that how do you shine? How can you continue to shine brighter?
Yep.
So the pleasure that you take in self-actualization, indulge in it.
I like it.
Right? Go all in.
So it's be more Edward's ear. Be more
Edward's ear. Be more freedom. Because this is how, because you live on freedom, right? And this is the way your soul nourishes your freedom.
Yes.
And the more your soul is nourished in your own way, that is unique to you, is how you shine more.
I like it. So the more my soul is nourished in my own ways, the more I shine. That's true, because since Corona, I've really shined.
Yes, I'm seeing it.
Yeah, and I say this with respect to everyone watching, of course, but since Corona, I've really started to take off and become powerful. I actually feel that. Since Corona is when I started to really come to the surface and take off.
But you know why?
No, I don't. Tell me.
Because you knew that this was not a time for a true leader to hide.
Exactly. That's exactly what I said at the start. I got to be the number one guy in these times.
Yes. So your people can be the number one guy for their people.
Totally. If there's a time to be number one, it is now the time in crisis, because that's when people really judge you.
Yeah. So coming to the third part, which is about survival.
Yeah, cool.
Okay, so my survival and my pleasure is in the longevity of being healthy and fulfilled.
Yeah.
So the two, by having your freedom, by shining bright, the outcome that you're working towards in your personal journey is to be healthy and fulfilled.
Yeah, totally.
Body fulfilled for your soul.
Yes, exactly.
Right? And that is what's going to bring you success or stability or comfort, all those words that you spoke about.
Yes.
And that's, if we work backwards, that's what your survival and pleasure. So if survival and pleasure were the input, health and fulfillment were the output.
Yep, absolutely. Totally.
That's how it sits in together.
Yeah, totally correct.
Good.
Wow. So my dream of baked beans and my cat being covered in it actually revealed a lot of information. Very perceptive, Sobia.
Thank you. As I said, that's not my tool, so I wouldn't own the credit for it, but I love playing with it.
Well, I think
you can do it. It's just so easy.
You've demonstrated your capability well. And just on that point, I just want to say thank you for the dream analysis. And I just want to say, what closing thoughts did you have for me? And then what closing thoughts do you have for our audience to really make the most of this time that we're in? So
right now, it may sound a bit harsh, but we create these comfort windows in our life, right? We wear these lenses, and these lenses tell us we are in control, right? The only thing that we are in control of is how we respond to a situation that life presents to us, right? It's very hard to accept because it hurts our ego.
No, I agree with it though.
Our ego likes to be in control. Our ego likes to think that I create things, I change things.
Yeah.
Right?
Which is not true. We're responding to our environment and we control that.
But by responding rightly, you're actually creating, you're actually rising, you're actually shining. So I'm not saying that you're not stepping up consciously. You have all that power to step up. You have that thing.
Yes.
But the ego place is a physical place. The rising place is when you let your soul lead the way. So when the soul gets into creation mode, it's aligned with life.
Gotcha.
Right? So if the life is telling you to slow down and you're still being ambitious, it doesn't sit well. Because you're running faster than life itself.
Gotcha.
If you're leading from the soul, then your soul is going to be not slower, not faster, just at the right pace with where life is needing you to be.
Yeah. Okay.
When you're in the same rhythm, so it's like, a tango dance partnership. You're going to create wonderful things together.
Yeah, I'm definitely in rhythm right now. I think Corona pulled me into rhythm for sure.
Perfect. So just be okay with wherever you are, because that's exactly where you need to be. And it'll all be fine.
And I think you've made a great point, because for a while I haven't been comfortable where I am. I kept fighting it, and I think I started to recently accept it. I am where I am, and that's awesome, and make the most of it.
Exactly.
It's hard for me to say that. It's been very hard for me to accept I am where I am, and that's okay. It's been very hard for me I accept it, and it's been a hard journey for me to accept that. And you said it before, because of my ego. My ego doesn't want to accept that.
But there's so much growth in that letting go.
That is so true, Sobia.
There's so much freedom in that letting go.
You're right. When you let go, you become a lot more happier and fulfilled, and ironically, more successful.
Exactly. Happy success, we call it.
Yes, I like it. Happy success. Well said.
Well, this was a beautiful conversation.
Thank
you
you
for going up with me and playing along.
Thank you. And what I was going to say, Sobia, what advice do you have for our audience out there? We've got wonderful, beautiful viewers across the world. What's your advice to them to really go on from here and make the most of Corona season?
Well, it is a very difficult time to be in. It's a very sad time to be in, not just the health crisis, the economic crisis, people losing their job. So what I feel is that probably we're going through a collective grief. And grief is a cycle. So if you're feeling less productive, if you're feeling not inspired, that's okay, because we're in this together. And while we're in this together, we can come out of it together. So let's just stick together, keep supporting each other, be gentle on yourself, be forgiving, and we'll all be fine.
Sobia, well said, and thank you. And I've got to say, this has been an incredible interview, which has taken me many fantastic turns and evolutions. And Sobia, I was just going to say, I'm sure many people watching this interview have absolutely loved it. How can people get in contact with you if they want to learn more or want your help? How can they reach you?
So I'm really happy to connect on LinkedIn. That's where mostly I interact with people. And you can also visit my website, which is sobiazafar.com.au, which is sobiazafar.com.au.
And I like how you say your last name, because in my Persian influence accent, it's Zafar, but you say Zafar. How do you say it again?
Sobia Zafar.
Yeah, we say Zafar. So I love it. I love the different accents. So I had to switch to your accent, which is Zafar. Very hard for me.
Our language, Urdu, is a mix of Arabic, Persian, and Hindi.
Is it? There you go.
The order of our language is actually Persian. And most of our famous poets actually wrote poetry in Persian.
Oh, there you go. There you go. That's right. It was Pakistan and Persia hung out for thousands of years, no doubt.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, thank you, Sobia. I just want to say it's been an incredible interview. Thank you for this. I'm very excited to share this with the world. And I was just going to say, my friends, if you are watching this interview, you don't need me to tell you that Sobia is an amazing and capable leader. And I've got to say, she's an absolute honor to connect with. Sobia, myself, on behalf of all our viewers, I just want to say thank you for being on our show, and we absolutely appreciate you.
Thanks, Ed. I'm so glad I got to know you.